Zach. I'm an employee here at the UNM Outdoor Bike Shop, and today I'm going to show you the basic procedures for waxing and maintaining a snowboard. The materials you'll need for waxing a snowboard are as follows: some rags, a plastic scraper, a brush, a solvent cleaner spray, alcohol or water would work, wax, and an iron. An iron that is used specifically for snowboard waxing that has a temperature gauge on the back, which I typically like to set to 120 degrees. And now for the snowboard. There are basic components that make up a snowboard, including the tail and the tip, the bindings, the edge, and the base, which is what we're going to be waxing today. You're going to start preparing the board for waxing by taking your brush and starting at the tail and brushing all of the old wax and dirt or anything else that could have got clinging and stuck to the bottom of the board. Next, you're going to take a rag and make sure you wipe all of the excess away, leaving nothing behind but a nice smooth surface. Once you have the smooth surface, you're going to take the solvent, alcohol, water, whatever you have, and you're going to spray the entire board generously. And you're going to take your rag and you're going to wipe away anything else that might be left on the top, just to make sure that you have a nice clean base to work with. Once you're done wiping, allow a few minutes for the board to dry before continuing. Alright, now, before you begin waxing, you're going to want to take your screwdriver and you're going to want to loosen or remove the bindings, which are located here, to prevent dimples on the base which can damage the board during waxing. Another thing you might want to consider before waxing your snowboard is to get your edges sharpened. Sharpening the edges consists of going from the base and from the tail into the tip and making sure that the edges across the entire board are sharp to help you in turning. I recommend going to a pro shop to get this done, and this is not something that we service here in the bike shop. And now for waxing. When looking at the base of a snowboard, you'll notice various scratches and scrapes. During the waxing process, the wax will fill these in, leaving you with a nice smooth base. When choosing a snowboard wax for your board, there are many different waxes to choose from. Today we'll be using an all-temp wax. Now you're going to take your iron and make sure the temperature is correct. Take your wax and slowly touch it to the base of the iron until you have a nice steady drip. If the iron starts to smoke, or if the wax starts to smoke, turn down the temperature of the iron. If the drip is too slow, you're going to want to increase the temperature just a little bit until you have a nice steady stream like I've shown. There's no specific pattern you need to follow as long as there's a nice even spread of wax covering the entire base of the board. Once you are done, you can go over it a couple more times, making sure you fill in any blank spots that are left on the board, and making sure the entire board is covered. Next, you're going to start at the base of the board, either the tip or the tail, and you're going to start making small circular motions, spreading the wax into the board. Don't apply any pressure at this point. Just let the iron rest on the base of the board and push it along the base, spreading the wax evenly into the base. It should start to look something like this. Once you have covered the entire base of the board with an even layer of wax, you're going to want to allow the board to dry for at least 5 to 10 minutes before continuing. Alright, now for the scraping. When scraping, you're going to want to put the scraper at a 45-degree angle to the base of the board and start scraping in a motion from the tip to the tail or the tail to the tip lengthwise across the board. You're going to have to make multiple passes over various areas to make sure you move all the excess wax from the base of the board. Be sure not to apply too much pressure to the scraper so that you do not damage your board. When scraping, make sure to keep clearing off the excess wax off the base of the board so you can continue working with a nice surface. Also, you're going to want to make sure you scrape all the excess wax from the edge as to not leave anything behind which could obstruct you later. Once you've finished scraping your board and all the excess wax has been removed, you're going to want to take one of your rags and make sure you wipe off anything that could be left on the board. Now, you're going to want to brush the board. You're going to want to take your brush and you're going to start at the tail and continue brushing the board lengthwise from the tail to the tip. The brushing is used to create a texture along the base of the board which allows water to pass through as you're snowboarding. Once you're sure everything is wiped down off the board and you have a nice smooth surface, check to make sure that all the grooves and all the scratches have been filled and the board has a nice smooth surface.
Okay, now that you know how to wax and maintain your snowboard, you're ready to do it yourself, and if you still feel uncomfortable doing it yourself, you can bring it into the UNM Outdoor Bike Shop and we provide that service for a $10 charge. Thanks again for watching.